Hello, YouTube! It's GMan 5338. Welcome to Camp Krusty. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Whether you've been rolling with me since the beginning, or this is your first time hitting me up, much love and much respect. Thank you for the support. The numbers are climbing, and I couldn't be happier about it. This is good stuff, people. Tonight, I will regale the tale of the mass shooting that never was. This was probably one of my first major cases when I was a police officer. Now, we've had, sadly, a few mass shootings in Canada, some mass casualty incidents. And fortunately, this one wasn't one of them. I managed to stop it before it happened. So come with me, won't you, to a place I call Camp Krusty.
Hail to thee, Camp Krusty, by the shores of Big Snake Lake. Though your swings are rusty, we know they'll never break.
Louder! Faster!
From your gleaming nest home to your hallowed baseball field, to your spick and span infirmary, where all our wounds are healed. Hail to thee, Camp Krusty, below Mount Avalanche. We will always love Camp Krusty. Unregistered trademark of the Krusty Corporation. All rights reserved.
Now, what is Camp Krusty? I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you that right now. In Canada, we have a program for our youth, okay, for kids from the age of 12 to 18, and it's called Cadets. It's run by the military, okay? There are 3 different branches. There's Air, Army, and Navy, all right? These kids get to do all kinds of crazy stuff. In the Army Cadets, they're out there shooting rifles. Some of them, I don't know if they still get the chance to, but they used to run a jump course for them in the summer so they could get their parachute wings, all kinds of stuff. If you're in Air Cadets, you're out flying gliders and all that kind of stuff. If you're in Navy Cadets, you're on ship through the summer. But, okay, this story takes place at one of these camps. Now, I'm not going to tell you where. Now, like I said, some time has transpired. Maybe this guy has learned his lessons. Maybe he's turned around. I haven't seen his name in the news, so who knows? So anyways, I want to respect his privacy and everybody else's. So that's why I won't give you an exact location on Camp Krusty. Now, just to give you kind of a brief description or an idea of size of Camp Krusty, we're talking a couple thousand people. There's, it's kids, it's adults, it's military, it's civilian. And this area is large enough and has everything in it to sustain that many people 24/7 because people live there. There is no going home. Now, because of the sheer size and the numbers of people and the assets that are out there, the military posts a police officer down there, which was me. So it's kind of like being a high school resource officer, I guess they call them nowadays. But back then, we just called me the sheriff. Now, what was it like being the sheriff of Camp Krusty? I'll let Kent Brockman tell you. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and I can say without hyperbole that this is a million times worse than all of them put together.
Now, no, it really wasn't that bad, okay? I'm just being a drama queen. Shit. Let a man be, yo. It wasn't that bad. The problem was that there was like one cop down there, which was me, the sheriff, all right? And there were thousands of people. There was lots of stuff that was worth stealing, all kinds of stuff. Remember, this is like a small town going on down there. Then the other issue is that there's a lot of teenaged kids, male and females, living in tight quarters. All right? Now, I don't need to paint the picture for you about what happens here. Needless to say, we get a lot of sexual assault complaints. Right? And especially when dealing with kids, you have to use the Youth Criminal Justice Act, okay, which is a lot of extra work for the police officer that's dealing with the case. And at first, I used to hate it. And I called it the You Can't Jail Anyone Act. But I came to learn after dealing with it in such numbers that it was actually quite an effective tool, all right, as long as it was employed in the right situation. And so I was quite thankful in the end that, our government had put that in place some time ago. Now, moving on. The camp had been going, Camp Krusty had been fired up for about a week now, all right? And things had been pretty quiet, which is never a good thing, all right? I hadn't really had too many complaints, just, minor, a couple, I think a fender bender or two, like a small traffic accident or two, and the odd stolen equipment, shit like that. Nothing too serious, all right? But then, there was this reserve CIC officer, and he had to ruin that whole summer. Okay, this file took me several months to complete. It was probably my first major case, like I said. Now, the camp had been going on for about a week. I believe this happened on a Friday. I know that I was really looking forward to getting home, having some cold beer, because this is summertime out here in central Ontario, and it gets pretty minging hot. All right, we get cold winters and hot-ass summers. All right, so I wanted to drink some cold beer, watch the corn grow, all right, and forget about things. Now, that wasn't going to happen, like I said. No. Now, this guy, through the whole first week of camp, had been causing personal problems. Nothing that bordered into the line of criminal yet. Until Thursday night and Friday. Now, through the week, he had been, complaining about things. He was just becoming a nuisance to people, and he was complaining about things that people didn't want to hear somebody complaining about. Like, he was complaining about racial issues, politics, that kind of garbage. And he was telling people about, how before he became a reserve officer in the CIC, he had traveled around the world and killed a bunch of people. Just some crazy far out shit, man. All right? Like, he was like the predecessor to Jason Blaha, all right? Now, as camp progresses, like I said, people are getting kind of sick of dealing with this guy's shit. So they start complaining about him to his higher-ups. Now, he gets a stern talking to from his higher-ups because of this. And that sends him off the deep end, yo. Now, he's threatening to put people in the ground. Right? He's using weapons while he's making these threats. Before he's actually dismissed from his duties, he says that he is going home to get his guns. He starts handing out first aid packets to people who he considers as kind of friends in case he accidentally hits one of them when he comes back with his guns. Now, I get the call. I answer. Telling me that down at Camp Krusty, there's some guy, he's threatening to kill people, he's gone home, he says he owns a bunch of guns. Now, before I get my nipples in a knot, I want to find out if there's any truth to this. So I tell the dispatcher to run this guy on the CFRO, which is the firearms registry here in Canada. And the guy comes back with like 30 friggin' guns. He's got long rifles. The guy owns a machine gun. He's got a bunch of handguns. This guy is serious into firearms. No two ways around it. So, now I know that he's got guns. I've got to figure out how serious these threats are. My plan at drinking beer watching the corn grow is now not happening. I am friggin' flying back to the base as fast as I can. I got to get to work now. I got to hit this. I can't let it go. So I speak with a number of other reserve officers who were working with this guy who had been threatened by him. I spoke with a priest. Okay. All of these people were convinced that he was going to kill. And it was not just these personal issues that he had. He had also stated that he was going to start picking his targets based on their color. That is to say, the color of their skin, their race, yo. And this shit was not going to happen on my watch. Now, I had to get thinking because this guy had weapons. These victims were serious about, what he said, how they felt about it. And I believed that I had reasonable grounds to make an arrest. But the problem is that the man has gone home. He lives, about an hour and a half away from Camp Krusty. All right. So what I do is I call the police agency or the police service in his neighborhood. I tell them that I got some serious shit on the go and I need surveillance. So with some humming and hawing, I get a surveillance team, all right, helping me out. I get them to sit on this guy's house. All right, we find out he's still at home. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing, all right? It's good because I know where he's at. It's bad because I don't know what the hell he's doing in there with all these guns. All right. Now, I have some policing decisions to make as well. I need to go get this guy and I need to get these guns. The problem is I can't get a search warrant. It's too late. Or I can't get an arrest warrant because it's too late at night. My only option, is to go and get a search warrant. All right, because then I can get into his house lawfully. I can take all of his guns lawfully. And if he's sitting there in the house with the guns, I can then arrest him lawfully. So this is my plan. All right, that's how I'm going to get him. But the problem is I'm a young cop. I haven't even been on the job for a year. I don't know how the hell to do warrants like this. I have no help. All right, the stress is on. Fortunately, and much respect to that surveillance team because they gave me peace of mind through all of this. All right. But this is where I leave you. I don't want to bore you too much with any more of these introductory details because in part 2, I want to talk about the tactical units that we use. I want to talk about the arrest. I want to show you pictures of the guns, all kinds of stuff. We'll even talk about how long this man goes down for. Now, you have to remember, like I said, that Camp Krusty, there are a lot of people in a small area, and these are kids, they're adults, all right? This is a serious thing that GMan is dealing with, all right? So let's keep that in mind. Something else I want you to keep in mind is to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I also would like you to comment because I love to know what you're thinking about my content. Remember, when we hit the 500 subscribers, I think it's coming up soon, I've got 2 of these beautiful dragonfly linear action rotary tattoo machines to give away. Power supply, power clips. All right, needles, pigments, practice skin, everything you need to get you started in tattooing. Because tattooing has been a huge help to me in my recovery from PTSD. All right? Now listen, I want you all to have a great weekend. Thank you once again for all the support. Much love and respect going out to all of you. Whether you're new rolling up with me tonight or you've been here rolling and taking hits with me the whole time. I have much respect and much love for you. So listen, stay strong, stay up. Look out for each other, people, because we are all we got. Peace.
We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was a government song. Sing along, it's just my brothers in arms. Gotta stick together, now more than ever it's on. We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was a government song. Sing along, it's just my brothers in arms. Gotta stick together, now more than ever it's